Sandra. Are you planning on travelling to Scotland or maybe looking for something to put on your bucket list? Well, Scotland is magical. It feels unreal. It's like stepping in and out of a novel. It's also a country rich with history, myths and legends. It also has some very interesting traditions. I will tell you about some of these in this video. A little bit more info. So my eldest daughter, Bianca, she lives in Edinburgh, has created an itinerary for us. Half of it is in Afrikaans, but you get the idea how fully packed she made this. At the end, we didn't follow the itinerary exactly, some spur of the moment decisions. But get yourself a cup of coffee or a cup of tea or a glass of wine. Sit back and relax because there's lots to see in here. And maybe at the end of this video, you'll want to make yourself a hot toddy. After many hours of travel and making it through the busy streets of Edinburgh, we finally reached the train station. We downloaded the application Trainline onto our phones, which made it very easy to find times and prices and to book train tickets. Of course, you can also book more than one ticket on the same phone. During the vacation, we mostly made use of the LNER. The other trains were also great, it just turned out this way. When making bookings on the application, we got allocated seats, which was great, as sometimes the trains can be very busy. The bridge you see we're crossing here is called the Fourth Bridge. There is a saying here, namely, like painting the fourth bridge. This basically means working on a never-ending task. This is because it is believed that as soon as maintenance crew have finished painting the entire length of this 2.5 kilometer bridge, they will start painting it all over again, starting at the other end of the bridge. Our first stop is the Cathedral of St Andrews, which is just about a 10-minute walk from our hotel down North Street. The Cathedral of St Andrews was built in the year 1158 and work continued for over a century. The cathedral fell into ruin after Catholic Mass was outlawed during the 16th century Scottish Reformation. It became a source of building material for the town, and by 1561 it was abandoned and left to fall into ruin. To date, the Cathedral of St Andrews remains Scotland's largest built cathedral. The St Andrew's Castle was built in the year 1200. It was the official residence of the bishop and later archbishop. In the year 1592 it fell into ruins after bishops were abolished. From the 1400s to the 1700s, students had oral exams. They had to sit on this cold granite stone as they were questioned by their teachers. You will see when we attend Bianca's graduation on day 2 of this trip that the students do not wear mortarboard caps. Female students were admitted to full-time study from 1892. A story suggests that male students of the University of St Andrews walked down the pier and threw their mortarboard caps into the sea in protest hereof. To this day, mortarboard caps are not worn at the University of St Andrews. The Old Course in St Andrews is considered the oldest golf course. It is also known as the Old Lady or Grand Old Lady. Many consider the Old Course as the home of golf, as the sport was first played here in the early 15th century. In 1457, James II of Scotland banned the game. James II believed that young men were playing too much golf instead of practicing their archery. The ban was upheld by James III, but in 1502 the ban was finally lifted by James IV as he himself became a golfer. Early morning we are out and about and Bianca collected her robe. It turns out the younger hall, where the graduation ceremonies are being held, is right across the street from our hotel. Attending a graduation at the University of St Andrews is like attending a royal graduation. After the ceremony, the new graduates join the academic procession as they leave the stage. and their parents and or guests may follow thereafter. They then proceed along North Street into St. Salvador's Squat. This morning we are taking a bus from St Andrews to Lucas Station, from where we will take the train to Waverley Station in Edinburgh to visit the Christmas market and to take a walking tour through the old town in Edinburgh. Edinburgh has a new town, that is where Bianca now lives, which is the central area of Edinburgh and was built in stages between 1767 and around 1850, whereas Old Town is over 1,000 years old. High and mighty, set on Castle Rock, which was formed several 100 million years ago due to a volcano eruption, you find Edinburgh Castle. Edinburgh Castle was built in the year 1103. It was home to kings and queens for many centuries. Edinburgh Castle has also suffered many sieges, and during the Wars of Independence, it changed hands many times. Scotland has some amazing pubs which we first had to visit before moving on to Elk Hotel for dinner. I've by now decided that my favourite hot alcoholic drink in Scotland is a hot toddy, which is made with whiskey, hot water, honey, lemon and cinnamon. Although at each restaurant or pub where I had a hot toddy, they tasted different, but all very tasty. Another very tasty hot alcoholic drink is mulled wine, which is warm wine with spices. If you're on a budget, as we are supposed to be, a cold cider on tap is the way to go. Elk Hotel, a Mexican street food restaurant, was recommended to us by Bianca, as she and her friends have spent some very enjoyable and memorable dinners there before. We certainly weren't disappointed, and we ended up ordering many items on the menu, each of them mouth-watering. If you ever go there, make sure to have one of their margaritas, as they certainly are amazing. Bianca's day off to rest as she's travelled so many times up and down between Edinburgh and St Andrews these past few days. So Nels and I decided to take another stroll through St Andrews, this time a different route as previously, and to do some shopping. We found this beautiful shop with a huge variety of gifts to choose from. The people were very friendly and helpful. Just down the road from the Pens Gate, to the right, you will find Nuns Walk, which is named after a ghost. It is said that this small lane is haunted by the veiled nun of St Leonard's. The next 2 minutes of this video contains material that may be disturbing to some viewers. Parental guidance and viewer discretion is advised. According to local legends, nearly 400 years ago, there was a lovely young maiden who lived with her family in the Old South Street. Her beauty was beyond words, and many admirers tried to win her hand. But she was not interested and just waved them all away. At last, she was engaged to be married to a brave young man, and for several months all went well. But this romance wouldn't last. The lovely maiden has resolved that she did not want to become a young bride, but she wanted to become a bride of Christ. While away, the young man got word that his lovely fiancée has joined the House of Sisters. He immediately rushed back to St Andrews to reclaim her hand and to marry her immediately. But upon his arrival, a terrible shock awaited him. The young maiden has done what she has written and threatened to do. She has horrendously mutilated her once beautiful face. The young man, horrified and heartbroken, fled to Edinburgh, where he committed suicide. And not long thereafter, the young, once beautiful maiden died of grief and remorse. And it is said that until today, she still wanders the small lane, carrying a lantern and lifting her black veil to reveal her mutilated face to those who have the misfortune of encountering her. Yesterday the snow melted pretty fast in St Andrews, but today, as I travelled further out of town to Lucas Station, the world around me once again was white. Today is only going to be a short part of this video, as this will be mother and daughter day in Edinburgh. It's been almost a year since I last saw Bianca, and after this trip it will probably be another year before I will see her again. We need to spend some quality time together, and today we will be in Newtown. The first of two castles we plan to visit for the day is Blair Castle and Gardens. Unfortunately, the castle is closed for the winter, but the gates were open so we can still get a very nice view of the outside of the castle and its beautiful gardens. Blair Castle has a long and interesting history. I will highlight only a few points thereof. The castle is said to have been started in the 13th century and was only a lone tower built by the Lord of Bachenoch, John Comyn. It was later passed on to the Earl of Atholl, David Strathbogie, who built it into a castle. In 1308 he forfeited the titles and estates. In 1629 John Murray was created Earl of Atholl and the title has then remained in the Murray family. On the day before his death in 1996, the 10th Duke of Earl, Ian Murray, gave his ancestral seat of Blair Castle and most of his estates to a charitable trust as his heir, the 11th Duke of Earl, John Murray, has decided to stay in his homeland, South Africa. Doune Castle was built in the 13th century. It was most likely damaged during the Wars of Independence and then again rebuilt in the late 14th century. Doune Castle became a royal possession in the 15th century. It was used as both a retreat and a hunting lodge for Scottish monarchs and was also used as a dower house for royal widows. Ruined by 1800, the castle was then restored from the late 19th century. Today the castle is in state care and falls under Category A, which is the highest level of protection for a building.